session with the people behind these films. And this year we got very lucky. We got a lot of people joining us in person. Some years we have to dial in filmmakers on Skype, not even Zoom. That's how old we are. So this time we don't have anyone on Zoom or Skype. We have a lot of people attending in person. So if I could please have you join us up on the stage, that would be great. We've got people and the team members behind films for Mina and Gina, the Bobby Diamond Story, Judgmental, Role Models, and Margot's Mansion. Am I right? Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. So please come on up. I've got names, but I don't want to necessarily call all the names in case they're different. So please come on up. Teams behind Mina and Gina, the Bobby Diamond Story, Judgmental, Role Models, and Margot's Mansion. Perfect. We've got all gentlemen this time. Thank you. So if you could just step up closer to the mic. You will have to share. 마이크를 공유하셔야 될 것 같아서 조금 편안하게 서주시면 감사하겠습니다. Alright, so what I'm going to do is for this Q&A session, I'm going to ask a couple of general questions for everyone, and then I'm going to invite our programmer, Jay, to continue the conversation. Okay? So first of all, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on your films, wonderful work. And if you could please tell us what film you're behind, your name and your role, and we'll start with that. How about that? So go ahead and go up to the mic.
My name is James Ferreira, and my film is Role Models.
Can we get the mic working? I'm not sure. All right, can we just try one more time? Sorry, I don't think the mic was on.
I'm James Ferreira, and my film is Role Models.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robert Mitchell, and I directed, edited, acted in pretty much everything for the Bobby Diamond Story.
Great.
I am Rocco Paulo, and I wrote and directed Judgmental.
Thank you. 앞으로 서셔서 성함과 그리고 영화 제목 말씀해 주시면 되겠습니다.
I am Hagil, directed Mina and Gina.
Thank you. Welcome you all. All right. So the first question I have for everyone is, was this your first smartphone film? And how did you get into making smartphone film? Okay, so we'll kind of keep the order going, but we'll mix it up, don't worry.
This was my first smartphone film. I had to make this. I went to Toronto Film School for acting, and we had to make like a silent film for school, and I ended up making this. My teacher really liked it, so he told me to submit to festivals, and yeah.
Wow, thank you, teacher.
I've shot a lot of stuff on iPhones and whatnot, and I would deem them cinematic sketches, so I would say that perhaps this is my first fully realized smartphone film that I've set out to do, and I'm glad that I finished it, and here we are.
All right. And Rocco?
Yes, this is my first smartphone film that I put together, and one of the main reasons I did it with a smartphone is I have small spaces, so I just knew that it was going to be a lot, less of a problem to shoot it with the smartphone, and plus the quality is pretty good these days.
Thank you. 이번이 첫 영화, 스마트폰 영화 제작이었는지, 그리고 어떻게 스마트폰 영화를 시작하게 되셨는지 말씀 부탁드립니다.
옛날에는 사실 굉장히 엄청나게 큰 카메라로 영화들을 찍고, 저도 옛날 방송국에서 그런 제작에 참여했던 방송 작가였는데, 지금은 손바닥 안에 딱 들어오는 스마트폰의 세계가 열리면서 누구나 다 같이 영화를 찍을 수 있는 시대가 돼서 저도 참여하게 됐습니다.
이번이 첫 영화셨나요? 첫 스마트폰 영화이셨나요? 네. This was my first smartphone film, And back in the old days when films were shot with big gigantic equipment, I actually happened to be working for a broadcaster, and I was on the production team back then. So nowadays, with devices, that is like a sizable palm, our palm, it's really interesting that we're able to make a film out of this such small device. 네, 감사합니다. Thank you. So the next general question I have, maybe Mr. Park, we'll start with you. 제가 먼저 한번 대답해 주시면 좋을 것 같아요, 이번에는. The next question is, where did the motivation come from for your storyline? So, we all watched that, there are a bit of a COVID stories and, some heartwarming stories, also some documentaries. So, where did the motivation come from? That would be my question for everyone. 이 영화의 제작에 어떤 식으로 이제 감명을 받고 어떻게 이 스토리를 시작하셨는지 좀 알려주시면 감사하겠습니다.
이번 제가 만든 그 미나와 진아는 전 세계적인 그 코비드 코로나 팬데믹 상황을 저는 한국에서 왔거든요. 한국에서 어떤 식으로 코로나를 극복하고 이겨냈는가. 그거는 결국 가족의 따뜻한 사랑과 길고양이, 반려견 고양이 이런 어떤 서로의 상호 위로할 수 있고 배려할 수 있고 그런 어떤 사랑의 힘이 아니었을까 그런 의도에서 한번 만들어봤습니다.
네, 감사합니다. So as you know, I come from Korea, and I really wanted to focus on how things were during COVID in Korea, and one of the ways of people overcoming such issue was with family and love and care for each other, as you saw with my film, Mina and Gina. So family members, even as a cat, they were all very needed for us to overcome this time. Thank you. 감사합니다. All right, Rocco, we'll kind of go backwards this time. Where did your story come from?
My story came from just a situation, somebody that we knew that was going on a date and basically just was very judgmental about the person and stating stuff that they took as being like, you should totally understand what I'm saying when I'm saying this person's like this, and like, that's not a negative thing. So that's pretty much where it just came from.
Thank you.
I guess try to keep it as short as possible, but I guess it would have started during COVID and the pandemic years. Started playing poker with my friends in Toronto online, some who are in attendance here tonight.
Wow.
And it began with every time a wheel draw was a possibility, which is an ace to a 5 straight in Texas Hold'em. Started going on wheel draw. So then that morphed into me taking, my poker name, by the way, is Bobby Diamonds for 23 years. And so I made a Bobby Diamond spokesperson commercial for Wheel Draw Straight Bourbon. And then I liked the process of doing that. And then that started morphing into actually making the short film that we got to see tonight. So that's how it started.
All right, thank you.
So my film's about role models, obviously. I have a little brother myself, and it was kind of just talking about how one day you have a little brother, and now you have to be a role model for him, and he kind of didn't really sign up for it, and yeah.
All right, thank you. So it sounds like lots of stories and lots of motivations from basically anywhere in life, right? All right, so now I'm going to hand it over to Jay. Jay, come on up, and I'll go over there for a translation, so feel free to carry on.
All right.
All right.
Excellent. I am Jay Clark. I'm the lead programmer here at TSFF. So, I guess I'll just start with questions about a general question about what would you find was most challenging about shooting your short. Start with you, James.
I shot my short kind of pretty much by myself with the exception of a couple scenes. So it was a lot of like setting up my tripod, setting a frame up, filming it, and then looking back, see if I did it right. Something was in frame, something wasn't in frame, I had to do it over again. Really annoying. Next time I would like to have the team with me. But
To reiterate, yeah, I shot my film completely by myself, so that was a challenge. For example, the scene where I'm naked on the ranch, I set up the camera, and then I went in front of the camera, and then, you know, I had to go back over to see if I actually captured it the way I wanted to. And I think another huge challenge was trying to create something that was 2 minutes long with only basically one protagonist and try to keep that interesting.
The challenging part I had with mine was I had to shoot the scenes kind of 2 times, one from one person's perspective and one from the other person's perspective. So it was just trying to make sure that people were standing in the same positions in order to be able to make those match up.
저 같은 경우는 고양이가 출연을 하는 바람에 고양이는 감독시킨 대로 뭐 알아듣지도 못하고 근데 그거를 어떻게 기술적으로 하느냐 결과적으로 재밌게 잘 찍었지만 그 점이 제일 힘들었어.
For me, as you know, we had a cat who doesn't understand my directing. So that was actually the most challenging part.
So, Robert, I was going to ask you about, do you remember specifically, or was it the Zoomed poker where Bobby Diamonds was born, or was it before that? What was the genesis?
Of Bobby Diamonds.
Of Bobby Diamonds, just...
As a character?
Yeah.
Well, as I said earlier, Bobby Diamonds, my poker nickname, was given to me 23 years ago when I played a poker tournament, and I was playing with a friend of mine and a bunch of others, of course, and I didn't play one single hand, but I folded every hand and actually placed third and won money that night. So he turned to me and said, "You played tight as a diamond, Bobby Diamonds." So that was the genesis of the nickname. But yeah, it was definitely playing poker in the past couple of years, hardcore, and then I started thinking of Bobby Diamonds more in terms of like this alter ego of myself, because it's, as you see the film, 80% of that is true and 20% of it's just bullshit. So that's when I started thinking of it as a alter ego character of mine.
I got another one for you. So we've known each other for quite some time through film and poker. Would you say that one informs the other?
Film and poker?
Yeah, that gives you your passions. Do you think one helps the other, or vice versa?
Because I play poker and I have for so many years, and I've been involved in film festivals in the film world for so many years, I've always looked at it as it's opened a lot of doors for me, and I got to meet a lot of cool people over the years that doing those two endeavors have definitely opened up the world for me in a really cool way. But yeah, I think what I like about film and poker is it's also can be a very solitary pursuit. And like when I skateboarded for many years and you're trying to perfect the trick. So yeah, I do feel like for me, film and poker can, and I think it meshes well in the short that I got to make.
Excellent. James, I was just wondering where you found your actors.
All of my actors are my family, so the mom and dad are actually my mom and dad. My
Excellent.
little brother is not my little brother because he has a beard and looks too old. So I ended up using my cousin, and yeah.
And you said that, I was going to ask you, because I thought it was very cool, the cool choice to have no dialogue. But that was, you said it was something to do with the course.
Yeah, for the project for school, I had to be a silent film, so that's why there was no dialogue.
Cool. And for judgmental, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Rocco. Where did you find your actors?
One of the actors was in the previous movie I did last year. So that I met them mostly through Facebook, where I put ads, and that's, I found Rachel, who plays the main role in this, and she suggested to people that were taking classes with her, and they came in and done with me.
Okay. And I like the concept. How much of it was improv and how much of it was scripted?
It was all scripted.
I see.
I think there might have been, is there one scene? No, it was all scripted. Because we did have some outtakes, but we didn't use any of those. We had some fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. And for Amina and Gina, so I thought that the father and the daughter had a really great rapport. Were they father and daughter, or just actors? And if so, where did you find them?
영화에 나오는 아빠와 딸의 관계가 실제로 아빠와 딸인지, 그리고 또 어떻게 그분들을 캐스팅하셨는지 알려주시면 감사하겠습니다.
그 영화를 보고 실제 아빠와 딸이라고 느꼈으면 두 분의 연기가 아주 훌륭했습니다. 사실은 각각 다른 아빠와 딸이었습니다.
Well, it's good that you think that they're actually father and daughter. That means they acted really well. No, they're not really father-daughter relationship in real life.
And you mentioned the cat earlier. I always love to see shorts with animal actors. Whose cat is that? Is it, I'm assuming it wasn't a stray that you picked up. And
고양이는 누구 고양이였나요? 혹시 고양이는 누구 고양이였는지, 뭐 길고양이는 아니었었고.
예, 실제로 길고양이는 뭐 현실적으로 사실 촬영이 불가능하고 집고양이고 집고양이를 케어해주는 집사가 항상 따라다니면서 그렇게 찍었습니다.
Okay, yeah, it definitely was not a stray cat. That would have been horrible. We definitely had the owner of the cat with us on the set to make sure that cat was always there and that we always had help waiting for the cat. So, yeah.
재미난 얘기 하나면
네.
첫날 촬영을 무사히 잘 마쳤는데 다음 날 촬영 시간에 오지를 않았어요. 고양이가 전화를 해봤더니 고양이가 스트레스 받아가지고 동물병원에서 치료받고 온다고 그런 재미난 일화가 있었습니다.
So believe it or not, we had a really good film day with the cat on the first day. And then the second day, the cat didn't show up at the right call time. So we called up and said, where's the cat? Apparently the cat was too stressed. So he was at the vet and he showed up late. So yeah, they actually get stressed.
thank you very much. So right now, I'll turn it over to the audience if anybody has any questions. Yep, in the back.
In the Gina film, does that girl actually, oh sorry, is the girl actually deaf in that movie?
사실은 실제로 청각장애인 배우하고 연출을 해보고 싶었는데 코로나 사태도 있었고 그래서 사실은 아역 연기자를 데리고 했는데 다행히 수화를 할 줄 아는 아역 연기자였습니다.
I've always wanted to work with an actor, like a deaf actor. However, because it was COVID, it was very hard to do so. So this time we casted a regular, child, but she actually knew sign language, so it helps tremendously with our film.
Anyone else? In the back there?
For Robert.
Yes.
So the $1 million loss, is that the bullshit part?
See, you're good. You're a good poker player. It is bullshit because Bobby Diamonds would never lose $1 million in one day. Maybe over the course of 1 year, but not one day.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice? All right, I'll just wrap up then with a question about what's next, film-wise.
Nothing right now.
No?
working on a short, again with Rachel, who played the lead actress. It's based on a dream that I had in 2017. It's been just sitting on a paragraph I wrote about 5 years ago. So that's the next short film that I'll be working on. It's called Aberration.
All right. Robert?
그 이번에 헐리우드 디즈니랜드 인어공주의 주인공 여자분이 흑인이 캐스팅되지 않습니까? 제가 다음 준비하는 작품은 선천적 시각장애인의 소년인데 신비한 미소를 짓고 있더라고요. 그래서 장애인 버전의 인어공주를 한번 만들고 싶고 곧 촬영에 들어갈 예정입니다.
You know, The Little Mermaid just came out not too long ago, and you know, there was a bunch of stories about the main actress being a person of color. I recently met someone who was born blind, but she's got a beautiful smile. So I'm hoping to start a film just like The Little Mermaid, but with her, and we're going to start production soon.
My wife Sarah, who's sitting over there, and I have started writing a movie about a retired professional wrestler who's in a quest to get his heavyweight championship belt back, and it's one reason why my hair is as long as it is right now. So soon-ish, I will be a professional retired wrestler.
All right, let's give it up for the filmmakers. Thank you for coming.